Hello, everybody, and I am Jeffrey E. Berger, and welcome to my Holistic Mental Fitness series, where myself and Mupo Entertainment LLC, who I'm very excited to be partnered with in this journey, believes mental fitness is the new physical health. So before I bring on my very special guest, Kathy Lanka, to the stage, if I may, as a certified holistic wellness coach, I'm really humbled to be affiliated with an amazing group of humanitarian entrepreneurs who are aligned with the only holistic mental wellness company that is actually focusing on the microbiome. And people say, what is the microbiome? Well, it is your gut, brain, heart axis health. And it's a science that I believe is disrupting the health and wellness industry today because there is so much relevance to gut health and mental health. There is a correlation, and science is really proving that today with clinical studies and their research. So, who out there hasn't experienced stress, anxiety, depression, or even have had suicidal thoughts? I'm sure you could all relate to that. In this interview series, it's very near and dear to my own heart because we're sharing stories about other people opening up with conversations from all areas of wellness, physical, mental, to help people understand it's okay to talk about mental health and share your experiences and become informed mostly of alternative options that are out there that are safe and work. We provide real solutions for real people who are serious about getting their physical and mental health from barely surviving to thriving again. And there is no physical health without mental wellness. And they really are two sides of the same coin because they are vital for each other to cohabitate together, as well as for our own ability to reach our own peak potential in this one life that we get to live. And how you feel is not just in your head, it's also in your gut. And this is what we do best. And this is what we're so excited to be sharing with you about. So before I actually get into introducing Kathy, I do want to share another commercial here with Mupo Entertainment. This is a TV series, Mupo TV, and this is actually being streamed on Mupo TV. It goes to, Roku TV as well as Fire Stick, and you can also download the Mupo app on your Android or your iPhone if you have an iPhone, and watch these amazing people who are interviewing and sharing their unique talents and their stories and lots of great information on this platform. So with that, we're going to take one quick break, and then I will be bringing Kathy onto the stage. We'll be right back. Okay, we are back with Kathy Lanka on the stage here with us. And Kathy comes to us from upstate New York. And I know that area oh so well because I'm from Western New York. And Kathy was a nurse practitioner at Sarasota Hospital. She's the mom of two daughters, Annalise and Sarah, and she studied family nurse practicing at Simmons College. So welcome to season 2 Holistic Mental Fitness series, Kathy.
Thank you so much, Jeff. It's so great to be here tonight.
It's awesome to see you again. We just saw each other in Salt Lake City. So,
oh my gosh, so great.
It was an amazing weekend. So before we get started with the questions, share a little bit about who Kathy is with our audience.
Okay, sure. So like you said, I am the mom of 2 young adult daughters who are amazing and now on their own. And I've been a nurse practitioner for 34 years already. Hard to believe. And I've run the gamut from women's medicine to holistic health to traditional family practices, I love the outdoors. I'm a hiker and a biker and a swimmer and a boater and a skier. I love healthy food. I love making it and I love eating it. And I'm always a fan of personal growth. So you'll find me in some book somewhere learning something more about myself and others. So
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing all that. That's great. And knowing you for a number of years now, and I can definitely see that. And we actually, for those that don't know, Kathy is also a certified holistic mental wellness coach, just as I am, and we shared the same space during that training. So it was really humbling to be with her during that. And we were actually the first group at the Wellness Center in Plymouth, Mass, with Dr. Sean Talbot, who is our Chief Science Officer.
right.
So that was great. So let's start out. What led you to pursue a nurse practitioner's career?
So I had started as a registered nurse. I was working inpatient in a surgical center in Boston, and there was a lot of people with cancer on that floor. And after a couple of years of taking care of people at end stage, I said, you know what? This was a defining moment and I need to switch it up. I want to work with prevention and health promotion. And so I enrolled in at Simmons College in Boston to get my adult medicine training, get my master's as a nurse practitioner.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And just for those out there who are not familiar with the nursing degree, we have LPN, and then I'm digressing a little bit from our questions. I just
No
thought of this.
problem.
So, nurse practitioner, an RN, no, excuse me, no, an LPN, an RN, nurse practitioner, physician's assistant, and then MD is kind of the
Right,
path from a medical perspective. Okay,
right.
all right, super. So, what was your focus since you mentioned? So, you did mention that you were in the surgical unit, and then you pursued the nurse practitioner aspect. Did you stay in that discipline in critical care?
No, after college, after graduate school, I worked for Harvard University in their urgent care clinic for a couple of years. Got involved in some holistic practices on the side, and I worked for a naturopath at the same time, working in a traditional gynecology group for about 5 years, and realized holistic medicine, it doesn't matter what you're talking about. There are more natural, healthier alternatives. And so I started learning about natural hormones at the same time I was working in a traditional GYN facility. And so I just made the jump and started working with a functional doctor
Mm,
and becoming a specialist in bioidentical hormones at the same time addressing all sorts of different health concerns, from hypertension with chelation therapy, just any really name an acute or chronic condition, and we were finding natural alternatives and sharing those with people. And so I did that for a number of years,
mm,
and then eventually got back into family medicine. I went back to school when I came to New York, got a certificate in family medicine, and spent the last 13 years working mostly in a family practice, and then intermittently having a consulting practice on the side for natural options, holistic options, bioidenticals, that sort of thing.
okay, awesome. You talk about again. I'm going to digress. You keep bringing up points that pop into my head. Bioidentical hormones, and for those that don't know, we talked about the microbiome, the gut-brain axis, and 90% of our neurotransmitters and hormones are created in our gut. So we create these ourselves. We don't need chemical alternatives. So we need, and this is what we're all about: is we're teaching people about getting back to producing your own chemicals, because we produce our own chemicals without man-made chemicals. And this is what I love about the holistic world, is that we have that opportunity now, and it's becoming more and more out in mainstream, which is good, but we have a lot of work to do with that. So
Right. I would say that from a sex hormone standpoint, the major relationship is that we're all under stress, right? We've got environmental stress,
right.
there's toxins, there's emotional and physical stressors, that causes changes in our adrenal function and our cortisol, which can have a direct impact on our sex hormones. So even though the path might be indirect, the gut microbiome is such a large center. Like you said, 90% of our neurotransmitters are made there. And those help us to regulate stress and adrenals, and can impact our sex hormones. So such an interesting interplay.
Got it. Yes, absolutely. Well, they're all talking to each other. So,
Right.
what were there any particular obstacles that you faced being holistically minded in a more traditional setting?
Yes.
The $64,000 question.
Yes, yes, yes. The last 10 years, I think if you ask any health professional, it has gotten more and more stressful, right? We have just more regulations. We have to see more people in less time. We have more administrative duties, believe it or not, that even as a nurse practitioner, or if I was a physician, you've got your face-to-face time with your patient, but then you've got all of this other admin that you need to do within that same 10 or 15 or 20 minutes that you quote unquote have with the patient. And it becomes very easy. I've looked at statistics that are very sad, but statistically, the average patient in an acute setting has about 30 seconds before the provider interrupts and the prescription pad comes out. And really, how are you supposed to teach people how to get well and stay well? We didn't all grow up in a environment where we learned about healthy diet and healthy stress management techniques. And so medicine is becoming quite a pharmaceutical industry. It seems like that is the number one go-to, and it's devastating in terms of long-term health, as I know you know. And so for me, what I had to do to be authentic and have integrity with myself was I had to work nights and weekends. I had to spend much of my own personal time doing the admin, doing the notes, because my 15 or 20 minutes with the patient was certainly going to be talking about the big picture and diet and lifestyle and holistic options. And so, yeah, I don't know where we are in the lineup, but basically a few years ago, it was so amazing. There I was, burning out, trying to carry a family practice, and Amare showed up, and I'm like, what? Stress resilience is the number one benefit.
Exactly. Yeah.
You feel that in the first month, and at the same time that I was kind of reaching a brink of burnout in the family practice, 1,000 patients, and just too much, to carry. My daughter was also having her serious challenges as a senior in college with some issues. And so Amara came at the right time. And within a month, I was able to advocate for myself differently. My daughter was able to stay in college and finish her degree. It was truly a lifesaver.
Yeah, absolutely. And this does lead, you kind of answered a little bit of the next question about, what were your initial thoughts when you were introduced to the Holistic Mental Wellness Company, and how did things evolve? So you talk about stress resilience, and that's part of my story too, of total burnout from corporate America as a software engineer, not in the medical field, but somewhat in the medical field, because I was working for CVS Pharmacy. So I left that in August 16th of 2016. No, August 15th of 2016. Totally burnt out. And I was out on disability the previous 5 months because I was I couldn't move, I couldn't think, I couldn't do. But so you started with this stress resilience, which is a big term these days in regards to, people under stress, anxiety, depression. So those initial thoughts, and how did that evolve, with you building up that stress resilience, your daughter being able to finish her last year of school, and then bringing you up to today?
Right. So I should say that in primary care, even I would say that often 1/4 of my visits had an element of stress or anxiety or depression as part of that visit. So even if a person came in for high blood pressure or came in for their physical, a part of that visit ended up being, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. The number of people requesting antidepressants is unprecedented, and a lot of people don't have the choice to leave a dysfunctional job, right? Like, so that
Right.
some of my patients would come in and be talking about, I just need to get through until I have another opportunity. Can I please just have an antidepressant? And so we can talk about stress management all day long, but sometimes people are in just terrible situations and they need to move. But the more I worked with natural supplements and really saw the benefits in my own life and in my family's life, the more I just wanted to share things holistically. And as much as Amare helped me for the last couple of years personally and in my family, ultimately I realized that I just needed to go on my own. And so in January of 2022, I started my own practice. I left corporate. And I
Congratulations.
just want, yeah, it's just, money is not the most important thing. And we have, as you know, we have some great financial opportunities here at Amare, but really without your health, you have nothing, right? Without your mental health, we know that more kids are dying of suicide right now.
Right.
It gives me chills just to say it. I've lost, two of my friends have lost their sons to suicide. There is no options,
Right.
when it gets to that point. And so there are options. The problem is we need to help people before it gets to that point. And so what I'm saying is, to any healthcare providers or really anyone that's passionate about mental health, and really, like you said, mental health is the new physical health, right? Mental wellness. Without mental wellness, you can't have total physical wellness, because stress is a part of almost all illnesses, right?
Correct.
And so for me to say, you know what, if I have intention here, and I put in my time and my interest, things will evolve. And so to be able to be in this space now where I can share with people, have the time that I need to share what I feel is most important to helping them reach their health goals, mental and physical, it's just, it's wonderful. So
That's awesome. So you went out on your own in January. Congratulations, as I said, and without doing any HIPAA compliant violations. Can you share some of the like one or two stories of success that you had with one or two of your patients?
Sure. So two people that are in my life were on antidepressants for more than 20 years.
20, you said 20 years?
More than 20 years. So,
wow.
So two, and one is someone that I work with in Amare. She's a teammate, and another is a patient of mine. And that's a long time to be on an antidepressant. I actually, as I'm talking to you, have two other people that came off very, very long-term antidepressant use. And we had to go super slow, because when your body is used to another way of having neurotransmitters on board, but to get off of that medicine, I have another person right now. She's on about week 4 of being off of hers, and she was just staying on the lowest dose just in case.
Yeah.
And to free yourself of the need for antidepressants is massive. I thought of another person. So I have multiple people that are off of antidepressants now and using Amare, and also handling stress better. So antidepressants can kind of keep you in this. There's a little more apathy involved, right? You might not cry, you might not have the depth of emotion. So these people are feeling their emotions, but they're more resilient and able to handle it. And it's a very wonderful feeling to feel more elation than ever before, and to cry when it's appropriate, because it's appropriate to cry, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, those are just a couple of my patient stories.
Awesome. That's great. So you talk about antidepressants, and I wanted to bring this up, the Happy Mind Pack. We're getting amazing, unprecedented results with this because it does help with stress, anxiety, depression. And it gives you those happy neurons and the neurotropics that are necessary to feed the brain, so you reduce the brain fog and have more energy and have clarity, and your mood is stable from reducing the cortisol levels, so forth and so on. So let me share this quick video here with you about the Happy Mind Pack. And for those that are watching, you can go to the Happy Mind, holistichappymind.com, and you can order one of 4 different types of flavors that you've got through combinations. Here we go.
Something I wouldn't dare to think I would be doing. And you run, keep your head up high. Suddenly you lose it.
Okay, there we go. So with that, my goodness, I'm going to switch over here to another. There we go. I'm managing 2 different screens here. So um, let's see here. So we're getting down to the wire here, and I do want to ask 2 more questions, Kathy, so we can wrap this up. In the last 6 to 12 months, there have been more and more health and wellness professionals who are aligning their practices with this holistic mental wellness company. When I talk about health and wellness practitioners, I'm talking about doctors, medical doctors, and we've got nurse practitioner. You are of that, Western medicine caliber of medical professionals, and so many others out there who are aligning. What is your take on this?
Oh my gosh, I think that I think we care. I think we care about our patients, and we want them to feel well. And some of the tools in our traditional toolbox aren't enough to have people feel the best. Dr. Sean says antidepressants can take you from terrible to okay, but it can never take you to awesome, right?
Right.
We need holistic solutions for that. And so I think that with all of the research on the gut microbiome, whether we're talking about cardiovascular health or brain health or literally gut health, neurologic health, the science is there, the solutions are there. This company is just standing behind their products completely, 100% satisfaction guaranteed for a year. So we just can't help ourselves but to share this with the people that we care about. It's what we signed up to do a long time ago.
Exactly. With the Hippocratic Oath, do no harm.
Right.
And some of the people that I've talked to have stated that this has been the missing piece of the puzzle to their practice.
Right.
And this is what I'm finding across the board. So if there were one piece of advice that you could give anybody who is watching this or who will watch the replay that is looking for that glimmer of hope, whether it's personal, professional, or a combination of both, what would that be?
Healing is not only possible, it's inevitable if you give your body what it needs. And we do have solutions. It's a risk-free trial. You've got people that really care about you. And so why not? You know, you're so worth it to invest in yourself to feel better, and we're here to help you. And um, yeah, there's so many tools. There's so many people. It's our community is loving, and just there's a lot of help available. So
Yeah.
I say healing is inevitable. Our body is very wise and can take.
Exactly. Thank you for that. And the thing is that we're part of that group of people that are outside of mainstream, and there is a lot out there that is available because, as you said, our body responds to really good things. Once you start feeding it the right things, your body accepts that, and it actually heals faster than it would otherwise. So, and that's what I noticed in my journey. So that's really, really critical for people to just to become aware. Let's become aware, get educated, and then you can make an educated decision.
Right.
So, Kathy, thank you for taking the time to be my guest today. It was a lot of fun. I'm gonna have you back. I just have to have you back, and we'll go into some more deep dive stuff.
Right.
But you brought value with regards to what you've done in your journey from working in corporate medical field into your own practice, wanting to do what you do best and what you're passionate about. And lastly, I believe, oh no, I do want to say this here, let me bring this up. My next guest is Mary Lou Tierney. She is another amazing woman she's the CEO of Simply Better Brain, and she does the Recode 2.0 Brain Health Coach. That's what she is, and she's all about teaching people about preventative of Alzheimer's. Okay, very, very interesting woman. She lives in Boston. She lives out. I should say the North Shore. She's outside of Boston. She's my guest next week. And with that, lastly, I believe my business is abundance and optimum wellness. I believe we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially for those that choose. Everything is a choice.
Right.
And so with that, what I want to do is remember this: mental fitness is the new physical health. And I will see you on the inside next week. Thanks very much.